Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lucy and today I want to talk about the books that I really want to get read in 2018. So these aren't necessarily 2018 releases, these are merely books that I probably should have read by now but that I haven't, and I kind of want to set myself a challenge to read these books this year because I've been meaning to read them for so long. So I'm sure we all have books that we've been meaning to read for ages, but I really just wanted to tackle this problem head on, because the thing with me is I'll buy a book that I really want to read and then it'll sit on my shelf for forever. So that is not what's going to happen this year. This year I want to read all the books that I want to read, and hopefully by the end of it I'll have read all the books that have been on my TBR for ages. So guys, let's get started with the books that I really want to get read in 2018. Now there aren't many here just because a lot of the books that I do want to read this year will be like new releases and stuff, which I did think about doing like a most anticipated 2018 video, but instead I'm going to do this one kind of talking about not just the books that are going to come out this year, but mainly the books that I've missed, because that is a greater problem. So I have 4 books on my lap right now, all of which I have been meaning to read for ages. So let's start with a classic, and this is a pretty insane choice, to be honest. I mean, not many people have read this book, mainly because it's pretty terrifying, but it is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and this is often like kind of slated as the book that everyone wants to read, but it's so damn long that they physically can't. So I might be setting myself up for failure, but you know what? I may as well try to get through this thing. What is really terrifying is that this book is, oh wow, yeah, great. This book is over 1,300 pages long. The writing is absolutely minuscule. I don't know if you can see that. It is tiny, so I'm going to be in trouble here, but maybe I can just like chip away at this slowly, and before I know it, it should be all done and dusted. The reason I want to read War and Peace is because it is one of those classics where everyone just says that like you have to read Tolstoy, and I've never read any Tolstoy before. I tried to read Anna Karenina like once upon a time, but then just like completely fell out of it and just forgot to pick it up again. So I'm going to try with something different. I'm going to try just going all out and going with War and Peace and see how I fare. If you have read War and Peace, can you please let me know what you thought of it, because there's also been a BBC adaptation which came on TV last year. So I really do want to watch that, but I kind of like want to read the novel first as I have it here. So we will see if I manage to kind of get through this and then watch the TV adaptation. Okay, next book is a book by one of my favourite all-time authors, whose books I adore and have read many of, but I've never read this series before. It is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I almost hit myself with that, it's so big. But this is the gorgeous special edition from Waterstones. I have got the special edition of this one and Lord of Shadows, which is the second book in the series. This is the first book in the series. I have read neither of these books, and yet I happily spent almost £20 on the special editions. What is wrong with me? So in my eyes, Cassandra Clare can do no wrong when it comes to writing gorgeous fantasy novels, and I have heard incredible things about the Dark Artificers series, of which this is the first one. I think that I will love it. Like, I know I'm going to love it, so why haven't I read it yet? So this is number 1 almost off my list, because it's the one that I've been looking forward to for ages and yet just haven't had the time to read. So this needs to be read, and soon. Now, if you've watched my videos from before Christmas, you will know that as part of my Christmas TBR, I mentioned a series that I wanted to read over Christmas. Alas, I didn't manage to get round to reading this series over Christmas. It is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, and this is the first book, Northern Lights, that I'm holding up. So, I still haven't read this yet, guys. What is wrong with me? Everyone is so shocked when I tell them I haven't read His Dark Materials or any Philip Pullman. I don't quite know like why. I just obviously missed it as a child, but now I'm determined to read this series and read this book. So that is also a very high priority on my list this year, to finish off the series and then go on to the Book of Dust, which came out last year. So lots of exciting things to get around to reading, especially this one. Now, this is actually a 2018 release that I'm really looking forward to. It is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So I adore Holly Black's fairy novels. I think the last one I read was The Darkest Part of the Forest, which I think I actually reviewed on this channel like 3 years ago or something crazy like that. This is her next novel, and I think it's set in the same world as The Darkest Part of the Forest, but this is a separate kind of novel, separate story. I'm so excited about this because Holly Black writes fairies really well, and I've heard just the most delightful things about this book. So even though this is a 2018 release, it's been on my kind of like, I need to read this list for so long, and I'm just so excited to delve back into Holly Black's words again. I think she's an incredible author, and I'm really excited for this one. I think it's already out now, or it might be coming out very soon. But The Cruel Prince is definitely up there on my most anticipated of 2018, and also up there on the books that I need to read this year because look at it. It's stunning. And the final set of novels or series that I really want to read this year is Diana Gabaldon's Outlander series. I've not got the physical books of these yet, but I'm going to invest in them because I'm halfway through on my Kindle the first book, which is obviously Outlander. I love it, but because the series, the TV series, does such a good job, I feel like I'm just reading the TV series again. Honestly, the TV series is just as incredible as the novels, so I'm thinking of skipping forward to the fourth book, which is Drums of Autumn, I believe, or maybe the next one. I'm not too sure, but basically I'm thinking of skipping ahead to the TV series where the TV series have just finished, so it'd be the fourth book that I would pick up and start. Tell me if this is a bad idea or not, because like, if you are an Outlander fan, should I skip the first 3 books in the series because the TV series has already covered that, so I already know what happens? Do you think it's a good idea? Okay, Outlander fans, tell me. Basically, I really want to read this series this year, and Outlander is just a world that I adore so much, and the TV series is one of my absolute favourites, so either way, I'm going to be reading Outlander in 2018 in some shape or form. So guys, that is it for the books that I really want to read in 2018. Do let me know down in the comments what books that you've always wanted to read and that you're hoping to tackle this year, because I often get distracted by new releases that are coming out that I forget like just how many books are on my shelves that I should probably finish. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and do subscribe for more videos coming in the next few months, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!